What is going on, my friends? I hope you are doing well today. The team at TRE wants to say thank you so much for all the support. Thank you for joining today. This is the Real Estate Podcast, and we want you guys to do us a solid. If you don't mind, can you help us get the message out? We believe that real estate can be for anybody, and we believe there's opportunities for people to grow with us. So if you can, please share, subscribe, like, comment. Thank you for being here on our journey, and we are going to continue to add as much value as we possibly can and try to shake up the industry. Let's dive in.
I really think it's just getting out of your comfort zone and being willing to take the opportunity that's presented to you, take that leap. If someone's going to offer you a position to make more money or just, grow yourself, don't limit yourself and not take that leap to learn more. If you're, don't be satisfied with just being comfortable.
All right, guys, welcome to the Real Estate Podcast. At Teifke, Alex Kaufman. We're so excited that you're here. We got a really special guest down on the coast of Corpus Christi, baby. And she's one of the big parts of what we're trying to build and what we're trying to do. So before we get started, if you can, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share this episode with your friends. We're going to talk real estate, Corpus, Austin, and I want to introduce you guys. Thank you for being here. Gia Maddalone. Appreciate you.
Hi, guys. Thanks for having me on.
And just a little quick backstory. I met Gia's dad in Corpus Christi, and he was talking about this because I was trying to learn at the time, and he was always like working on projects. I think he was working on a bathtub, and I just like sat there for like 2 hours and watched him. He's like, I never forget, you're this 18-year-old kid just sitting there watching me work, and he thought it was pretty cool. But that's your dad. And Gia, thank you for being here. Couldn't be more excited. If you don't mind, say hi, tell us a little bit about yourself. What we're going to do here is just dive into your background, talk about what we're building together, add value. And I got to give one shout out to Gia because I started early. Gia dropped out of school to go full-time real estate, and she one-upped me. So I'm super excited she's a hustler. She's doing a lot. So we're really excited that you're here, Gia.
Thanks. I'm happy to be on here. I guess backstory. I'm originally from upstate New York, born and raised in Albany, capital region. My parents would buy houses. We lived in them while they flipped them, basically. So we moved every 2 years. They flipped and made enough money for us to move here to Texas. And I was always heavily encouraged to get my real estate license as soon as I was old enough. So I got my license as soon as I turned 18. I took all the courses, passed it, and it's been really enjoyable experience. It's been really awesome, and it's really gone hand in hand with like what I guess my family already does, since we've been in the remodeling business for over 20 years, and I've worked with my dad's business, and yeah, it's just been really awesome to be a part of it. And so I guess going off what you had said, when I got my license, I went to college. I did a semester, and I realized that I was getting good grades, but I was spending more time working on real estate while in class. So I'd be writing contracts or negotiating with sellers on repairs, or trying to figure out how I could make my next inspection to be there. And I was like, this isn't working out. And it didn't make sense to be chasing a 4-year degree when I'd be making significantly less than if I went all in on real estate.
Yeah, that's so cool. I literally remember doing the same thing. And it's really funny to hear like working a deal while you're in class. It's kind of it's an experience, right? Like you're like, yeah. I don't care what they're talking about up here. I'm trying to get this deal done.
I wonder what other people are doing in class, maybe on social media or other things like that. And Gia's writing contracts and closing deals.
Yeah. And it's really inspiring, Gia, and to move from because it's been a while since I was in Corpus, and you were a little bit younger when I was there. I can't remember what age did you actually move to Corpus?
I was 8, so
8.
I must have been 8 or 9.
Yeah, you were younger. I didn't even think you had the baby brother yet. And going from New York to Corpus is a really big change. Like, as you know, Corpus is a unique place.
Yeah.
What's kind of, your experience on like doing that and seeing what your dad had done, and like, what's your passion behind real estate?
Well, I think really what it is that houses for my family was a hobby. They'd include us in everything they were doing. So if my dad was doing drywall, I was helping hold the compound, and he'd let me tape and put it on the walls, or he'd be framing a house while we were, watching TV. And so we'd sit there and watch him work. And it just really made me passionate about houses, because it was just a really cool world to be a part of. And take your daughter to work day would be go watch your dad go through the job sites, look at the different houses you're remodeling. And so houses just was like the next logical step for me, because it was just so much fun to be in and be around.
Yeah, and your dad's, he's really knows what he's doing really well. Like, he can actually build it himself, but now he's building his business. And so
Yeah.
I'd imagine you've seen how he's taken that and built the construction side and the renovation side. And then real estate's just going to be a perfect complement to everything he's doing. But you can take a lot of those skills and experiences that he had and apply it to a totally different side of the business that he doesn't really focus on.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why he really encouraged me to get into the side, because he was like, well, I don't have time to do it, so you need to do it. And it was just really cool. I was really nervous to talk on the phone before I got into the real estate industry, but my dad would make me sit down and warm call for 2 hours every day until we drummed up business for one of the companies that we were running at the time. And so he just told me to sit there and just have a script and keep on doing it until you make sales. And that really made me more confident to talk on the phone with people and just pick up the phone and be like, hey, my buyers want this. Are you going to accept it? Or, really make it more conversational and be less scared of that rejection, that no.
Yeah, that is really cool. So tell us, like, right now, what's going on in your world in real estate? Kind of walk us through what things look like, what you have going on, and just give a little insight there.
Okay, yeah. So, and I guess in the real estate side, I'm helping a couple buyers look for some properties, some investment properties. I'm helping investors, my dad and a couple partnerships manage some storage units that they bought. And we're also putting together 46 apartment units off of Greenwood. And then we're also going to be doing other apartments. And so I'm helping put together all the plans, get all the permits, everything to help bring it from the ground all the way up. And then on the Trey side, see how I can add more value to people and make connections and really network and get our name out here to, encourage people to get on this movement too.
Yeah, come on, come on.
Yeah.
Alex, you're gonna love to see what they have going on. They like at their actual shop. It's really impressive.
We're gonna stop by. You're gonna give us a tour.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
definitely. Yeah, we're putting in London is really the next big area of Corpus. There's what's cool about it is that there's nothing commercial out here except for my family putting in an 11 unit plaza out here, and it's needed in this area because D.R. Horton's out here building 3,000 homes just down one road next to the high school. They're putting in, it's easily 3,000 to 5,000 homes in this area in the next five years, if not already built. It's really cool to seeing how there's nothing out here in the farmland, and now we have 5 more subdivisions than we had the year before.
Mhm.
It's really cool to see that growth.
Yeah, that's great.
It's really where the city's moving, in the sense they're not really, well, they should be developed. They are trying to develop that area where they're going to be putting in the new Harbor Bridge to replace the old one. They're going to make it the port bigger. That way they can bring in larger ships, as we're I think we export all the oil. So now they're trying to make it so we can get bigger oil ships to come in. And so they're going to try to revitalize downtown, but for families, they are looking to get out of the city, and since you can't really grow in any other direction, the only way is to come this way. So it's really cool.
Yeah.
What so that's talking about the growth in Corpus Christi. What how old are you, Gia?
I'm 19.
19. So how soon after you turned 18 did you get your real estate license?
It took me about 6 months. So I was managing a gutter company. So I would do all my work for the gutter company in the mornings, and then in the afternoon, I would take about 2 to 4 hours each day and just pass all the courses, get all lined up, and then I think I got licensed in I want to say October, December, or November of
Okay.
last year. Yeah.
And so you've had your license for about a year, right?
Yeah,
What
just under a year. Yeah.
Just under a year. And so what growth have you seen within yourself and kind of your direction in real estate? And we know what you want to accomplish and how you want to plug into the family business and what you personally want to do. Has that changed a little bit since you've kind of gone all in on it and really dove into real estate as a career?
Yeah. So I guess for myself, I've always wanted to own investment properties or have some sort of investment in real estate. I'm really happy to be part of the trade team. And I really want to see, I guess, business side, I really want to grow Trey as much as possible in the Corpus area. Uh, and I guess figure out how to transition. My goal long term is to transition and focus fully on real estate, but but I still but focus on development for with my dad, and then go in more on being a major part in Trey for Corpus Christi. And yeah, that's really a long term goal, obviously, to get more sales and then roll it into investment properties for myself.
Right. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you know this, but obviously you and Matt have known each other since you were 8 years old.
8, man. I went to their house. Yeah, it's tripped me out now. I was at your
And
house having
Yeah.
dinner. She was 8.
yep. So Matt's known you since you were 8 years old, and Matt's known your dad for a long time. But you and I only
Yeah.
met when you joined TRE. And when we started having Matt's mom cold calling Corpus Christi, and we started finding sellers and making connections here in Austin and Corpus recently, and started giving you some leads, I told Matt, I said, Gia's our girl. We started giving you some leads. You're out there hustling. You are extremely sharp. You're extremely hardworking, very professional, and everybody who meets you and interacts with you is just extremely impressed with the way that you
The
operate.
future is bright for Gia. She's going to be developing. We got to get you the rookie of the year. Have you looked into that at all? Is it for the nominations?
I haven't. I didn't know that was a thing. I
Yeah.
definitely would want to throw my hat in
I'll
the ring, though.
I'll look into it for you, and we'll
Okay.
nominate you because you deserve
Oh,
it.
thank
And
you.
yeah, I mean, you're learning so much at a young age, and it's perfectly aligned to develop, right? Like you get to see the building, you see the real estate side, and it's kind of in your blood. So it's going to be really exciting to see it play out.
To do anything you want
Yeah.
to, not even just develop, right? Like
Sure.
you'll know everything and you can go any direction you want and take advantage of any opportunity.
And I love that your dad had you cold call to get over that fear because you probably hated
Yeah.
it at the time.
Oh,
Do
I
you
was
remember
scared to answer on is just go on the phone. Yeah.
you just what was it that got you to, just keep pushing through? You just said, forget the fear. I'm just going to keep doing it. Like, what was that process like for you?
Honestly, I think it was because I was given a high level of responsibility. And so I didn't want to let my dad down because we had bought this company and it had no sales, like no sales. And so he was like, well, you're going to have to figure some way to get calls coming in so we make some money on this thing. Because it was a older business. We bought the business to get the land that we wanted. And so he was like, here's your script, here's the phone book, or like the old customer list, sit down and just call, and if they say no, they say no, if they say yes, then you just made yourself a commission in a sale. And I was like, okay.
That's
And
awesome.
so yeah, so it was really just sitting down and knowing knowing I could just read off that script until it internalized, and that really just, I don't know, it made it easier for me.
Yeah. And like you said, anything's possible. Is like once you go through something like that of, in a sense, being scared of it or being clueless on the process and then being, successful at it, then you realize you could do that with anything in life.
Yeah,
Yep.
and it's so cool now being like whenever Kim would give me the leads and then we'd like follow up with them and they'd say no, and then they'd call you back like a day later and be like, oh, we're actually interested. which is what happened with the portfolio deal. We called them. He said no, and then he called us back later and said, I don't want to sell that property, but I have like 9 more I want to sell. And so it was just really cool seeing how that happened with the follow up.
It's amazing how it can snowball. We just listed one today with Dylan, and she said the listing looks great. You want to sell my other one? And so people, I think, fail to realize like how important it is to look at everybody as someone who you can help and add value for. And then all the benefits of money and business will always come. But within real estate, there's always something to be plugging in with and helping out with. And then the follow-up and the consistency is what really, really pays off.
Yeah. And I think it's really cool, like how you guys have always said, like, hey, like, see how you can add value for people. Like, instead of treating them as a product or someone you're trying to take advantage of or just trying to make money off of, but if you're really making that connection with them and showing them that you're really just there for them, and it's not really like they're there for you, they need you more than you need them, because you're trying to just, add the value to them that they don't have already.
Yeah. And I know you're a big believer in God, and your dad's a strong leader there. And like, it puts more meaning to it of like, there's other things going on than just business right now. And you can kind of do your best to, spread the message or spread the love of God, and also grow financially. Right. But like, there's a bigger mission that's actually going on. And we're just out here talking to people all the time. So that's a blessing.
Yeah, it is. And it's so cool about real estate is then it gives you more money to be able to bless other people than you previously were in. And I thought that was so cool to be part of too, seeing like money that I had never really thought was like possible to get on a scale, and then being like, oh, I have the freedom to be able to give that to other people and not worry if all my expenses are not going to be taken care of if I do that. I thought that was really cool.
Well, let's talk a little bit about Corpus. Austin's tricky to find good investment properties. Corpus seems to be the place where you can get some cash flow and you can make some money. And like you said, the bridges, getting increased on the size. So a whole new industry might be coming in. So you're probably going to see that appreciation. We're big believers in Corpus. The economist that we listened to was talking about how Corpus is going to be hot. Like, talk to us about Corpus, and if people want to invest in real estate there, and obviously they can reach out to you, but what gets you excited about Corpus and investing there?
Yeah, so I guess I'm kind of the opposite of people. A lot of people who live in Corpus don't like it and they want to leave. In my opinion, I think Corpus is that opportunity city that Austin is, just that we have the beach, we have the refineries close by, we have wind turbines, we have this good farm community of cotton, we have the port, which controls over $1 billion in assets, we have the oil exportation out of there. And with that new bridge, means we can have cruise ships. Obviously, there has been delays in the bridge, so it may take some time. But Corpus is booming. We have a NASCAD base, so we have a strong military presence, and it's a good place for people to retire. So in my opinion, I think Corpus is the best place, is a great place to invest in, just because our prices is still cheaper than Austin. Yep. We have a median price is about 300. I mean, but you can get a nice house for, in the 200s. And what's cool is that a lot of houses here were built in the 50s. So there is room definitely to do like a minor improvement of maybe adding an HVAC or, do new floors, new countertop, new cabinets, and then you can flip it easily. And there's not really very many bad areas of Corpus. I mean, there's like a pocket you might want to stay away from if you're a young family, but other than that, the majority area of Corpus is just a good place to live in. Not really, it's not considered unsafe.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Well, it's just to not to cut you off, but like you guys can help buy the property and do a lot of those renovations that you were talking about.
Yeah, we have a supply company, so we get cabinets, flooring, windows, doors, and we have quicker lead time. So it really puts you in a position to really make it, flip it and fix it quick instead of waiting 5 months for windows,
Mm-hmm.
What do you think the biggest opportunity is in Corpus? Is it like building apartment complexes? Is it flipping single family homes? What do you think is kind of untapped and the biggest opportunity there?
I think for flipping, there definitely is a room, a good place for, there definitely is value in flipping, as a lot of homes in Corpus haven't really been remodeled. But there is a good place for apartments. That's why we're doing apartments, because there was a study that came out a couple of years ago where it showed that, and maybe it was last year, where Corpus is short about 4,000 to 8,000 homes a year. And so the city is really approving a lot of single family. That's why they're approving a lot of subdivisions. They're approving apartments, and they're really trying to help, provide housing, because there simply isn't enough in Corpus. And so they have grants for affordable housing, and they're really open to making that grow. So I think wherever as long as it's housing in Corpus, it's something that's needed, just because of how much growth. I believe, I don't know this exact study, but I believe Corpus used to be around 300,000 in population. I believe it's now up to 400. So we are growing fast, and faster than we have housing.
Interesting.
That's amazing. Well, it's going to be really exciting. Being young and early on in your career, what is some of the advice that you could give to people that's kind of led to your success and maybe helped you get over some of those fears, and just maybe value that we can share with entrepreneurs that are sitting here thinking like, how can I get to be feeling encouraged or to be doing what G is like? What's something that you'd say to them?
I really think it's just getting out of your comfort zone and being willing to take the opportunity that's presented to you. Take that leap. If someone's going to offer you a position to make more money, or just, grow yourself, don't limit yourself, and not take that leap to learn more. If you're, don't be satisfied with just being comfortable. And I think being faithful with the opportunities you've been given to, and just hustling straight up. I mean, sometimes I start at 8, and I'm not done with work till 9:30. And I think it's really just being willing to, make those sacrifices and take the time to really, hustle for what you're looking to have accomplished in your life.
Do
100%.
do any of your friends or anybody kind of think you're crazy for going all in on real estate, or maybe working from 8 to 9:30 more frequently than most people are?
Honestly, I think my friends are supportive of it, and I think it just makes it a little bit harder to connect to people who are my age. I connect more to people who are in their mid to late 20s, but my friends who are in my age group think it's really cool that I'm doing what I'm doing. And so they, like, I don't know if they personally want to do it for themselves, but they think it's really cool that I'm doing it. And I felt a lot of support from my friends and just people in general.
That's awesome. You deserve it. And I'm sure you hear this a lot, where people say, well, gee, you're so young. But like, it's not like young people have to do, it's not like there's this stigma that young people have to do certain things. Like, you're accomplishing a lot at 19 years old. You've done a lot, and you've got a tremendous amount of growth to come. And like Matt's saying, the advice that you have for young people, and I truly think that you're an inspiration for young and old people, regardless of their age.
You're getting Alex all remotivated now.
I'm always
Yeah.
seriously, I don't tell Matt often, like, hey, this is our girl. But the moment we started sending some leads your way and you're closing deals, I was like, Gia's the one.
I think what really helped motivate me, at least, is like, the scripture where it's like, if you're faithful with little, you'll be given much. And so my thought process was, for the leads you guys sent me, was like, wow, like, even if it's just like a lease listing and it might not go anywhere, like, still work as much as you can, because that faithfulness to that means that you're going to be trusted with much more later. And it just sets that practice and that training to really be prepared once that stuff does happen for you, which it will, because as long as you keep doing those baby steps, then the opportunities will come and you're ready for them.
Yeah, from all angles, right? Like, we're going to send you more leads, but then those people are going to value you working with them, and they're going to send you more leads. So 100%, I love the relation to the scripture. And for people that are watching, you're seeing Gia right here. You're not like super, super active on your own social media like YouTube, but you do post stuff. But I think people are going to look back on this video in 10 years and be amazed at what you're doing. So
Gia's active. Your little sister got what, like 10,000 views on Instagram?
Yeah, no, she asked for it.
Yeah, those are really cool. Those are super creative. But more so like sharing your story. Like, this might be one of the few times that people can really see like who you are and what you're doing. But I love the creativity with your sister. And are any of them, kind of approaching business the way you are? Any of your siblings?
Yeah, my sister, well, I have a twin sister, and so she is getting her culinary license or culinary, chef training. And her plan is to go entrepreneur in the form of pop-up events and chef events. So she'll be more on the entrepreneurial side for that. And eventually, yeah, and so I think and then Josie, she's turning 7 today. I think she really will be full on entrepreneur too. She's always thinking about how she can sell stuff where, how she can make money. Whenever we're at trade shows, we'll give her flyers, and she's passed out every single one to every single person in that trade show has gotten a flyer by the time she's done.
Your dad's creating all these entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's awesome. I guess for like kids my age, I think the only thing I recommend is like build your credit early, and really save and try to keep watch of your expenses, and take those baby steps to make sure that you're fully set up. So I guess like as a young age, I always was saving, and so I had like money in my pocket, and I took every opportunity when I was old enough to build my credit to a point where now when I turn when I'm in a position to be able to do stuff without a cosigner, I'm able to, and so I'm able to say, yeah, I did that.
Yeah, that's really good advice. Start early, like Gia.
Yeah.
Go get it.
Yeah.
Well, what else, Gia? What ways can people reach out to you or get a hold of you? And then maybe one or two things that you think have led to your success that you really hold true.
Yeah. I'm on social media. My full name is Gia Maddalone, very Italian, but people can reach out to me there, or they can always reach out to me in text or email. I don't know if you, or reach out to Teifke.
No, share your info. I always give my info out on podcast if you want to.
Yeah. Okay. Well, my phone number, I don't know, not phone number.
Yeah. If you have people,
Okay.
I do it.
Okay. Well, my phone number is 361-694-3917. My email address is my full name, Giovanna Maddalone @gmail. No spaces, just the full thing. And I'm easy to find on Instagram too. So if anybody wants to reach out, I'm happy to talk about real estate and see how we can add value through Trey.
Maybe you should do an Instagram reel on teaching younger people how to build their credit and take those steps that you mentioned about. People probably really like
I think I will. I also got the opportunity to go talk at my high school about real estate and investing. My economics teacher reached out to me and let me come and talk to two of her class periods for 45 minutes on just investing and building your credit. And that was a really cool opportunity. And I really want to do that again. That was so much fun.
That's awesome. Well,
yeah,
Gia, we can't wait to see how things play out. We're glad you dropped out of college. It was a waste of your time. And you're an awesome entrepreneur. We're very encouraged and excited to come see you when we do come to Corpus, build out TRE in Corpus with you. And once again, thank you so much, guys. Gia is a great person to reach out to if you're looking to buy real estate in Corpus or even hear about the market. You heard her here. She approaches it as a true profession, and she'll hook you up, treat you right, tell you about the market. So reach out. We're going to be buying more properties in Corpus. Thank you guys once again for tuning in. If you can, share this, like, comment, let us know any opinions. Gia, thank you again. Alex, let's get out of here. Peace.
Thank you guys. Bye.
Bye, everybody.